Okay, so we're at 1:56 and we'll call the policy committee meeting to order. It starts by acknowledging that we are privileged to meet on the unceded and ancestral territories of the Squamish and Statlian nations. And with that, there is an agenda recommendation. You want to make that?
That the agenda of this meeting be approved.
Thank you, Lisa.
Sounds like it's.
No, it's over there. Mine's off.
This is not. This isn't.
Where's that coming from? I didn't think. I don't know, I'll make sure this is off.
Do you need a
so-
seconder for that motion?
Yes, please.
Seconded.
You, I was about to move on. And any objections? Seeing and hearing none, then we can move on. We have a set of minutes. Recommendation.
That the minutes of the policy committee meeting held on February 8th, 2023 be adopted.
Thank you, Lisa. Second, thank you, Celeste. The objections? Seeing and hearing none, then that's carried. I don't think we have any trustee items. Unless someone has something they want to add. Nope. So then we have, we don't have any presentations, no information items. That brings us to our discussion items. And Danielle, trustee expenses.
Thank you. Okay, so we just reviewed this policy just last year, but I just received a bunch of data related to what the rest of the trust or what the rest of the school districts are doing. And also at the same time, there was an update to the mileage rate that the teachers had. So what I'm recommending is originally we had the previous policy had that we were using the provincial mileage rate. And so our recommendation is to use the teacher's mileage rate, which is, just so everybody knows, it's 60 cents right now. And the reason for that is that like all the teachers, because it's in the collective agreement, that's what they have to get paid. We can't, even if we change like the district rate, we would still have to pay the teachers at that rate, the 60 cents. And so the rest of the district has also moved to 60 cents. And so I'm recommending that we like all have the mileage at the same rate. So the trustees, the teachers and the rest of the district staff would all have the same rate. However, I do want to point out that I sent all of you what the other school districts are paying out, and it is higher. It's at 68 cents. Yeah, most like a lot of them are paying at 68 cents. So I wanted to like give that to you in full disclosure. But we thought that if we made the trustees get paid at a higher rate, it might not look good because the teachers would be getting paid at a lower rate. But anyways, we're open for discussion. So I did pull some stats on that. There are, let's see here, 3 school districts, including us, that were at 57 cents. So we were like below the amount.
You're at 55.
We bumped it up to 57 to be the provincial rate. So it was bumped up to 57. There's 3 school districts at 58 cents. 1 school district at 59, 4 at 60 cents, which is what the teacher's rate is, 4 at 61, and 39 at 68 cents for trustees. So majority of them are at the 68 cents, which is what the BCSDA is. That's what they pay out for mileage. So I'm totally open to, whatever you guys think. We just wanted it to sort of be equal amongst like all staffing groups. But just wanted to hear your thoughts on that.
I think I don't know if you can hear me or it sounds okay. Yeah, so I think that sounds like the right direction to move in. My only question was further on, in section 1.4.2, it says that meals will be or 1.4.1 reimbursement for meals will be based on the BCSTA rates. And I was just wondering if there are BCTF rates that we should be following for that also.
For that one, no, there isn't. So
Okay.
like the district policy is that, but we are saying actually what our policy is. We actually are just in the middle of implementing it. But what we're proposing is that they try to stay within that, like close to what those amounts are for BSCSTA. So, but the Teachers Federation doesn't have their own rates related to meals,
Okay.
but we want to keep it around the same as that for them.
For sure. It should just be even across. the
Yeah,
board
it should
for
be,
everybody.
yeah, that's what I propose, but this is totally open for discussion amongst the trustees.
Go ahead, Lisa.
I am thinking exactly the way that you have presented it. It should be the same as what the members of the district are receiving. So I don't think it should be what other trustees are receiving. I think it should be based on what our colleagues are being remunerated within the district.
Oh, and I just want to mention one other thing. So that's this actual mileage rate is going to increase again in July, if like the teachers one. So I think I'm not sure what it's going to go up to yet. I'm just waiting for BCPC to confirm what the new mileage rate will be. So it's not going to be staying at 60 cents as of July. It'll go up, I think, to at least 63 cents. It might be more than that. So it might even be more comparable. But even if it does go up, the rest of the district will get paid whatever. If we line it with whatever the teachers get, then it would just, be the same throughout.
Does the policy allow for it to be contingent and just follow suit?
Yeah, that's kind of how I wrote it. Is
Okay.
that
It'll be attached to
Yeah.
long term. Okay.
that's right.
Rebecca, can you make a comment? Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, just for the benefit of the public as well, I think that, this discussion, the careful discussion that we're having around what rate we're going to expense for mileage at is super important. But I think the reality is that mileage is not a huge expense for our Board of Education. Maybe a little bit more so for you because you have to travel more in your position, but just so the public understands that this is not something that is commonly utilized because our travel certainly for board meetings, the cost of our travel is incorporated into the stipend that we receive for serving as trustees in the first place.
Yeah, that's a very good point. That's right.
I'm totally fine with just following along with this.
BCTF. Yeah. Okay, great.
The one struggle I have, like, I know you're following with BCSTA on the meals, but it's very challenging to eat within that when we go to conferences and stuff. You can't even get a McDonald's breakfast for what we get.
Yeah, I know.
So,
Yeah.
but that's fine. Good with us following with that.
Okay, and then so Paul has one other policy, and then I think at the end we'll probably need to have an action item to approve that to the change, a motion to approve the changes. I don't know if you want to do that at the end or do them all at once.
Yeah, you can combine them. We've done that
Yeah.
before. We just combined the two just because you're moving them to the public
Right.
for approval,
Okay, that sounds good.
even though it's the same, same group probably, but that's all right.
Yeah.
We're
Okay.
gonna do it in the public.
That's it for me then. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, so that's it for trustee expenses. Brings us to policy 601, school calendar development. And looks like that's you.
That's me. Okay, thanks. So really, this is just a housekeeping update. This policy was completely rewritten and updated in 2019, so it's still fairly new. And I reviewed it and all of the information is up to date. The only changes that I made were to change or to add was to change the I'm having a fight with the school bell and I'm losing. Is to change where it refers to the Minister of Education, just to update that to the Minister of Education and Childcare. And I think that happened 3 or 4 times. And there was also a "the" that was missing in a sentence that I fixed. Other than that, there's no change to the substance of the policy, just some housekeeping items. But certainly if there's any questions or feedback from the trustees, I'll be to questions or comments.
Not seeing anyone. Just shocked that the slip through in the first place. It's like, how did none of us see that?
Fine tooth comb, or usually, I know, I've had the same reaction you did.
But you often read what you expect.
Right.
Yeah,
That's right.
see there. All of us. Now, is there a need to, I thought there was something with, if it's just a housekeeping piece like that, there's no need for a
Yeah.
motion, or is there?
Yeah, I agree. That's what I recall.
Recall
that for
something about that,
for
yeah.
Something like this, we haven't needed to do a motion because it's, the policy hasn't changed. It's just housekeeping. So,
The ministries are always changing things. Go ahead, Celeste.
I certainly appreciate, even though it's housekeeping, it being brought forward towards the board, and I would have no issue just making the motion now, just so we can move on with it for both of the policies. So, Archie, I don't know if this is about right. But to make a motion, I'd like to make a motion that we adopt the changes presented for policy 211, excuse me, trustee expenses, and policy 601, school calendar development as presented.
Second,
Thank you. And is this where we approve it and then does it go to the public meeting?
Yeah.
Things come out of policy?
Well, you approve it at the board. So
Yeah, I
if the
think
policy
that's
was
right.
separate, they would just put it forward for motion to go to the board.
So we don't need
So
a
you-
motion right here.
You need a
The
motion
motion
to
is
put
to
it
send it
to the board. Yeah, and then you make the motion to adopt at the open board.
Okay, perfect.
Oh,
Gotcha.
Right, as
we're
Archie has
good?
written it, recommend.
Yeah,
the
she's
Board of
got it right
Education.
there.
You did it perfectly. Okay, whatever it says, that's what we want to do.
Archie's on it.
Okay, so moved by Celeste, second
Yeah.
by Lisa. Melissa, any objections?
No, sorry.
You're the only one.
Perfect.
Alrighty. So
Let's debate it.
Yeah.
I want that done forever.
Okay, so then it looks like, do we have any questions of clarification from the public? Let's quickly check.
No questions.
Okay, then we have concluded the business of this agenda and we are now adjourned at 2:10.
Wow.
Now you're gonna have to we have to log off and log back
You
in.
do. Thanks for the reminder.
Yes.
Yes.